Mac Daddy. Game of the night, Mac. Game of the night. You have this game between the Northern Illinois Huskies going against the Central Michigan Chippewas. And man, you just got to love the mascot names. Chippewas versus the Huskies tonight. It should be a good one. So when you look at this game, you have two teams that are very middling in the MAC right now. Northern Illinois is seen as the much better team in this spot. And Northern Illinois is second place in the West Division behind Toledo. They're 3-1 in the division. And then they have Central Michigan, who's 2-2 in the division. Both teams are 4-4. Now, Central Michigan is a much better home team than they are a road team. They're 3-0 at home. You got Northern Illinois, they're 2-2 at home and 2-2 away. But when you look at the schedules, and this is why Northern Illinois is really the favorite, they have played a much stronger schedule, and that Boston College win is very significant at the top of the year. But they also lost to a lowly Tulsa team by 8, but they had a really good game against Toledo at Toledo where they lost by 2 points. And they've won their last 3 games in a row in very fanatic fashion. They beat Akron 55-14, but that's kind of a gimme game. The significant game, though, that they did win was their home game against Ohio, who I have winning this conference this year. And then they also beat Eastern Michigan, who's been playing pretty good football as well, too, in a very good back and forth game that had some good defense to it as well, too. Now, you got Central Michigan, a team that's actually lost their last 2 out of 3 after starting the season 3-2. Now, they had a bad loss against a really lowly Buffalo team, but Buffalo has a really good offense that can get tricky and get really good with you, especially when they're in a home situation. You have Eastern Michigan, who they beat by 3. That's a significant win, but that's an interstate rival. And then they kind of struggled against Akron, but they beat them 17-10. And then Ball State upset them last week, but they went to Ball State, and Ball State was kind of due for a win there. So what I'm seeing with this one is this. We got a game that's coming up that's on that both these teams are well rested. And I always feel like you have to kind of cater to the home team in this rivalry game, especially with them both chasing the 2 spot right behind Toledo, who does play Buffalo tonight as well, too. And we do have bets for that game as well, too. And when I look at the stats, Central Michigan does have a very good situation going on with their quarterback in Jace Bauer. Jace Bauer had a kind of an off week last week, but it was good enough to where he didn't make too many mistakes. He got sacked a couple times, but he's a gamer. You know what I mean? And it seems like he's been really good when they played at home this year, and he's been really, really solid. But he makes some mistakes. He gets sacked a little bit, but that's the Mac for you, right? But it is what it is at the end of the day. And then when you look at the numbers for the Northern Illinois, you see that Northern Illinois is just not that much further off when it comes to scoring and things like that from Central Michigan. And their quarterback has almost the same exact numbers, just a little bit better in Lombardi. And I think that their run game is really the portion that carries this team. And if their run game can kind of be put in place, I think that Central Michigan has a great chance. But I'm going to be a little bold here, and I'm going to go ahead and take the dog tonight. And they're a home dog as well, too, so why not? I'm going to take the Chippewas tonight as the play for the night at plus 205 for this game. But this is going to be the MAC game of the night. I wouldn't consider it the game of the week, but it is the game of the night. And, pretty much with that, that's going to be a wrap on a game that I do see going in the direction of an upset tonight. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. And I think the spread is a little bit too long for this game anyway. It should be a little bit shorter, but I do understand because when you look at the schedule for Northern Illinois is much better. You know what I mean? It's a much better situation because they've played against much better. But you know what? At the end of the day, these are rivalry games. This is the MAC. And you know what? Matchups do matter. And I feel like Central Michigan brings the matchup issues for Northern Illinois tonight. So we move forward. Let's go ahead and talk about